CMJ's Epic Quest. 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 CMJ's Epic Quest.
Hey everybody, welcome back to D&J's Epic Quest. I am Justin, and joining alongside me is...
HC!
That's all you got? Okay. This is Derek, or Dren, and we have a bonus guest with us tonight. We have Mr. Jan Godfrey.
The picker of great books.
I've been thinking about my name. I'd like to be just called Picker.
Book picker.
Picker. Picker of pies, picker of good books, but also Picker is a really cool character in Malazan.
Okay.
Picker of noses.
Or butts.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go, Justin.
There, you have 3 titles.
Jan, the picker of pies. Jan, the picker of good books. Jan, the picker.
Or would you rather just be Picker Jan?
Picker will be fine. I can pick many things. And also,
Jan, the picker of many things.
Pick in Norwegian is dick.
Oh, well, there's plenty of that in this chapter.
That there is.
Yeah.
I was feeling some type of way when I wrote these chapters, apparently.
Yeah, you must have been in some type of mood. Oh, damn. All right, well, I guess before we get started in today's episode, like, every episode, we'd like to take a moment to thank and recognize Silverstone's Books. Please check out their website at silverstonesbooks.com, as well as their freshly opened storefront. They have a large selection of fantasy, sci-fi, and horror books with the option of many signed copies for reasonable prices. They carry a large number of indie authors, so help us, help them, supporting those self-published authors, like our one and only HC here. Also, they've been gracious enough to give us a promo code for 10% off your next order. That code is DJ Quests, so check out their site and pick up a book and save some cash.
But you cannot pick up HC's book from there because she doesn't have it there. They also have comics, and I think he's got some candles and stuff and stickers and journals and all types of stuff. I'm going to suggest to him pretty quick that he starts selling bookshelves because I'm going to need another one pretty quick. So.
Yeah.
Maybe he can sell book podcaster merchandise.
Ooh.
You know what? I was thinking about that, Justin. We have not mentioned that. We do have shirts available somehow. I don't really know how it works, but there's a link somewhere. Somehow you can do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We have shirts, but I don't know where to get them or how to get them or what's going on with them, but we have them.
It's a thing. Oh, water bottles. Yes. Yeah, I forgot about the water bottles. Yes, this is true.
Women's...
You have to go on a holy quest to find them.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
When you figure it out, let them know. So they'll know how to get to them too.
This is one of our side quests.
Yeah, no, Justin knows how. So maybe
your patrons or something can get like a discount on them as like a incentive.
Yeah. Yeah, totally could. Yeah, I just got to figure out the logistics of it because it's really clunky. It's through like Printify or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not highly intuitive. It's clunky. It's disorganized in my opinion, but
No, I agree. I have it too, and I haven't published it because it is very clunky.
yeah.
Let's just say if we had enough chimpanzees with enough typewriters connected to the internet, they could figure it out eventually.
Probably.
No, they're too busy writing Shakespeare.
It's basically the same thing.
Chimpanzee.
Binding our shirts, writing Shakespeare.
So who wants to do our patrons?
Jan does.
Yeah, I can do that. Patrons, thank you very much for your support. So thank myself. In order of subscription, Jan Picker, Luciana Adrigan, Ryan the Topological, Damien the Rock of Faces, and I know what he's referring to, Nate, Tiddle Me This, and Shield and Love Dylan.
All right.
I cannot say Shield Anvil Dylan. Well, I just said it. Last time I was listening to the last one, I was like, Shield Anvil Dylan. I could not say it last time.
Your southern roots
I
are
got
coming out for sure.
I got a
Shield.
few minutes into that episode, but I haven't. I did get to the point where you word vomited, or you didn't word vomit. You just vomited into the mic.
I was like,
That was funny.
I laughed so hard.
What did Jan, did you listen to that episode?
Yes, I listened to all the episodes, of course.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we just did publish it, so it's what did you think of the whole fuck me voice?
Oh my god. It's so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, listen, I don't know what Nier's into, but clearly it's really freaky and demonic.
Right.
Little like she's probably got some handcuffs and like a whip, and
I think this is gonna need something worse than that, like a skin flare or something. Like that voice was terrifying. It came from the depth.
She's a tough girl.
Yes, she is. Cheers to that. All right. Cool. Well, chapter 27. What?
Are we decided on who's voicing what here? I know we kind of talked about it in the Twitter chat, but
I honestly think Jan should be Avalok this
Yeah, because he's got the accent. Avalok.
okay, that's fine.
I can do that. But I was really looking forward to being the naked hippie.
Yeah,
You
could be
can both. Do both. Kill them all.
If you want to be the naked hippies, go for it.
The females and the males, or just the leader guy who's in love with the horses.
I love me a little bit horse.
I think I called him hippie man. I call him hippie man.
Who's gonna be the
I
girl?
was really hoping to do the yoo-hoo call.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah, that's basically yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo!
I don't need to do it. I got it. It's out of my system now.
How did
So,
you get
Jan,
that?
are you-
I've heard that magical.
Man, if that's what the naked women sound like, I don't care what they look like. I don't want to be around them.
I'm going in.
You just tell them not to talk.
Be quiet. Oh my god. So, Jan, are you going to do Avalok and the hippies or just the hippies? It's up to you.
I can do it. Have a look.
Hey! And then I think Derek should be the hippie girls.
No, I would like to abdicate that. I will. No, that's okay.
All right, Jan, there you go. Hippie girls for you too.
I'll be the hippie girls.
You guys figure it out. Yeah, I'm good with just being Lorik. I'll have a hard time just managing that today.
All my characters are absentees. So.
Oh, yeah, you don't have any characters. Oh, sorry, Jan.
We just need Derek to have one more beer, then he'll do the girls.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm starting my second one here. It is a honey double porter. I let it warm up a little bit. So
Gross. Justin can be the girls because I forgot you don't even have any lines.
Nope.
All your characters are gone. Cloud and Gil
Yep.
and the High Priest.
Yep.
Just only if Avalok whispers again, then you can speak.
Right. I am his inner monologue.
He's terrifying. I don't want to be in his head anymore.
Hey, he got what he wanted, didn't he?
I guess so. And Near, she's literally like open wounds on her. Just like on the ground. Like, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I just hope. I hope they didn't get sexual with the wounds. That would have been no.
Have you guys? Sorry.
Oh, that was good.
You wouldn't think that you wouldn't think that would set me off on a tangent, but it did.
Oh god.
Oh,
I'm gonna send you guys this video.
well, the lightning.
You're gonna
No.
send us some weird like wound porn?
No, it's called Pointless Profanity.
All
There's
right.
actually two. There's actually two of them, and I don't remember which video it's in. But Jan, what you said?
Fuck something?
Yeah, I don't even want to know why or how that sparked something in your brain.
All right, I just sent one. So everybody listening, if you want a good laugh, I wouldn't do this at work, but there's a couple videos. They're fucking 16 years old now by John LaJoy, and they're called Pointless Profanity. And the second one is funnier than the first one. That might be the one that I want. The first time I came across this, I literally about peed my pants laughing so hard.
Oh my god.
Pointless profanity.
Yes, I sent you guys the first link, and I'm sending the second one now.
Derek, did you ever watch that video of the guy that was high in the closet?
I did not
With the
watch
gecko?
that. No, I didn't have time. I didn't have time yet.
With the frog animation or whatever.
Yeah, the lizard thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gifted it, and he was like, "I don't understand this gift." And I'm just like,
Yeah.
so uncultured.
Right.
Says the girl who doesn't understand any reference anyone says to me.
Well, good start. Smelly Farts production.
Oh, you're already watching.
Funny. All right. Well, chapter 27 of H.C. Newell's Curse of the Fallen, Strangers of Mange. Who wants to read the epigraph?
I bet you said that wrong, Justin.
You did not.
I want to.
All right.
All right, so I'll go ahead and read it.
I really like this one. I read it several times for myself when I read the book.
Take her away, yeah.
Chapter 27, Strangers of Mange. Deep in the mountains, far from the wandering eye, is a place like no other, a village on high. Flowers and mushrooms and kisses exchanged. You won't find a place that's stranger than Mange. Mange the Strange, fjord of Ukulsa.
Hey, that was awesome. It kind of made it sound like Willy Wonka or something. I loved it. He actually
tell
said,
me you're talking to some knucklehead Americans.
he actually said Yokusa, right? My narrator did not. He called it Joe Kulsa. And I was
Honestly, I don't know what I would have said. I probably would have said that.
Fjord of Yokusa. They're all like Vikingish, so see, we got the Scandinavian on board. He's going to know how to pronounce all these words.
At least someone can.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how he pronounces all the Havish words if he has any. He's doing Avalok, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Dusk would soon approach, and Near was fearful of spending another night in the woods. Near caught sight of a signpost under some brush. I almost said bush.
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 Oh, I'm sure that was an accident.
Will you stop it?
Yeah. She definitely found a signpost for sure under some bush later on. But
When she read the sign, it said mange.
Mangy bush.
Ew. I actually, somebody got offended. I don't really want to know if it was offended, but they were talking about how stupid it is that I named this village Mange in one of a review, I think, or maybe I can't remember if it was a review or they said it to me, but they're like, why would she name a village after Mange? Do you know what that means? And I'm just like, that's the point. It's supposed to just be like a weird name because it's a weird place. I purposefully made it that.
Do you know what it means in Norwegian?
Oh, tell me.
Mange means many.
Many?
Mm.
Oh, over here it means like disgusting, dirty dog hair, basically.
I'm going to form a 2-word Norwegian sentence from everything I've learned today. Mange pick.
Mange pick. Manhe pick.
Mange.
Manya pick.
That's what I said.
I think Avalok was opposed to that in this chapter.
I don't know.
Lorik wasn't.
Lorik missed out. Kind of.
Laura was all about the Manya.
Yep. All right.
Hey, I mean, if you're picky, you miss half the fun. So
Right?
I'll
You
never-
saw. I mean, you see it. Nier's pretty picky. Lorik's not picky. Look at their situations. Hello.
Well, if you're picky, you can have fun.
Exactly. All right. Start over.
Dusk would soon approach, and Nier was fearful of spending another night in the woods. Nier caught sight of a signpost under some brush. When she read the sign, it had said Mange.
Have a look. There's a village just north of here.
She climbed onto the saddle and moved faster down the trail, eager to get off the road and somewhere safe. Traveling further north, Nier spotted a second Mange signpost that led them down a shallow, beaten path. Voices whispered through the air as they rode slowly through the darkening woods. Nier glanced around, battling her excitement and fear as she worried over the noises and who they could be. As they continued onward, observing the landscape and its randomness, their path toward Mange was anything but ordinary. Nier held her breath as shadows emerged from the darkness. The figures wandered through the trees with laughter as they followed along the footpaths sprawled across the ground. Riding closer to the village, Nier stared in wonder as people walked the trails in little to no clothing. Flowers were woven into their unkempt hair. Men held hands with men, and women stopped to kiss. They laughed and sang while dancing through the flower-filled trees, and Nier was made suddenly aware of why the village was known throughout Lynn as Mange the Strange. She stopped her horse as a woman, whose bare tits were covered by only a flower necklace, approached the group with a man by her side. They giggled a little too hard, curiously touching Nier's horse.
Nose. I'm laughing at the high as fuck woman. We don't know if she's high.
She's high as fuck.
She's most like she is, yeah.
Oh, how beautiful. We don't see many horses around here.
Oh my god.
Havelock recoiled as the woman approached him and brought her hand to his leg. As it slid up his thigh, Nier quickly intervened.
We need a healer. And get you. I can't say it. That's funny. I have not read this.
I knew it would come as a surprise.
We need a healer, and get your damn hands away from my man's leg.
No, say it the right way.
Say it the right way.
It doesn't say leg.
No. Did you just change that?
Oh, not at all.
Oh.
Jan and I had a conversation prior to this.
We need a healer, and get your damn hand away from my man's pick.
Who's the blazed man again?
Jan, you blazing it up there.
A healer. Yes, we have one of those.
You're so good.
Let's come along. Nier turned back to Havelock as the woman led her horse down the path. She realized that he hadn't understood a word of the conversation and quickly explained.
They have apothecaries and want us to follow them.
Apothecaries?
She smiled faintly as his accented voice as he attempted to speak her language.
Near splaining. I hate y'all. It's a person that patches you up when you're sick. They make you better.
These people are
Strange. This place is called Mange the Strange for a reason.
humans.
Jan, you're a perfect Avlok. You're gonna have to be on every episode now.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing so good.
She chuckled and turned back around. The shacks grew denser, and more people wandered the woods as they approached the village center. A man with long ropes of hair hanging halfway down his back stepped to Nier's horse with his arms open wide. Smiling brightly, he greeted her horse before lovingly kissing its snout.
Travelers, what has brought you out here into the Everett's?
My friend was poisoned. He needs an apothecary, as do I.
The man's smile never entirely faded, though his brows furrowed in worry. He curiously stepped to Lorik and examined his wounds before waving three men over. They carefully pulled him from the saddle, and Nier panicked as he was carried away.
Where are you taking him?
Do not worry, weary travelers. We can speak to the divines here. This place, it will heal him, just as it has healed all of us.
Love it. That's so good.
Avalok stepped closer to Near when the villagers cheered and sang at their mention. The hippie man then gave Near a vial of clear liquid.
Not to fret, my dear friends. The tears of Numera will heal your ailments. Just a drop on each of your wounds, and come on, you will be good as new.
The man walked away with a smile. Near inspected the vial, which appeared to be nothing more than water, and began to feel a deep unrest as she worried for Lork's safety.
We shouldn't stay here.
They're strange but harmless. We should be fine here for the night.
Avalok stepped to the roadside and tied the horses to a tree. He passed near her belongings before securing the saddlebags and stepping away from the curious villagers as they oogled and the very average steeds. Near told Avalok to come on as she took Avalok's hand before walking through the crowded paths. She silently groaned and clutched her side as blood dripped from her wound, forcing herself down the road, hoping to find someplace safe for the night. Avalok gently pulled her close as men and women wandered around, cheerfully passing flowers to one another. He came to a sudden halt when a woman wearing a flower halo and bare feet stepped in front of him. Avalok leaned back as she stepped closer to him. After touching his face, she leaned in and kissed him. Her tongue touched his lips, and he carefully pushed her away. He glared at her. The woman bit her lip with a wide smile before turning to Near. As she stepped closer, ready to pounce, Avalok threw his arm up and blocked her advancement. The woman giggled innocently before skipping away. Speechless, Near watched her disappear, and with a deep exhale, she turned to Avalok. His hardened eyes locked on her before he took her hand and guided her along the pathways.
Justin, you said he came.
Yeah.
I hate you all. That was strange.
Avalok sneered. A deep wrinkle formed between his brows as he pushed through the crowds and led Near to a secluded area in the woods.
Where are we going?
I don't trust these people.
They aren't going to harm us. Does a little kiss frighten you so easily?
He glared at her before dropping his bags. And placing his hands to his hips. The glow of firelight from the village flickered in the distance as they stood in a grassy clearing far from prying eyes.
Wait here. I'll gather firewood.
You don't want to stay in the village?
No.
Near leaned against a log with a subtle smile. Her eyes shifted to the village as people cheered when a bonfire was turned from orange to blue. Embers sprayed into the air each time someone tossed herbs into the flame, changing its color and creating beautiful sparks that lit up the night. Avalok soon returned and dropped a small pile of wood between them. He got the fire going. Near exhaled a sigh of relief as the warmth of the growing flames lifted the chill in the cool autumn air. As Avalok got comfortable and ate his dinner of jerky and dry bread, Near inspected the vial she was given.
Do you think it's safe?
No.
He said it's a gift from Numera. She's the divine of elements and nature. I think it'll be okay.
You shouldn't take anything from anything these people give. They've lost their mind.
I don't have another option. Maybe my magic is warding it off, but for how long? They said this will heal me, and that's what we've come for, right?
Can you heal yourself?
No. My energy transfers into those I heal. I can't transfer my own energy back into myself. I'm going to use it.
She set the vial aside and struggled to remove her armor. Avalok watched in silence before placing his meal to the side and coming to her aid. Quietly, he moved her fumbling hands aside and untied the braided straps securing her chest piece together. As it loosened, Near exhaled a deep breath and tossed it aside. She then lifted her tunic and pulled it over her head. Avalok helped her remove it from her injured arm and placed it next to her armor piece. She winced while examining the deep, bulging wound in her abdomen. It had doubled in size and oozed with an infection. She collected the vial from the grass and popped the cork, when Avalok suddenly wrapped his hands around her.
Are you sure you should do this?
I thought you didn't care.
This could alter your mind. You could become one of them.
Maybe you should take some too then.
Near.
I'm fine. I've heard of the tears of Numera. If it's actually magically enhanced water, then I'll be fine.
And if it isn't?
Then I guess I'll be living blissfully in the woods like all the others.
He looked into her eyes before slowly backing away. Her hand trembled as she hovered the vial over her side. Taking several deep breaths, she prepared for the pain and then carefully dripped a potion into the wound. She gasped in agony as it sizzled over her raw, blistered skin. With gritted teeth, she moved on to the injury on her shoulder. Struggling to properly angle her hand, she nearly spilled the potion down her arm. Avalok carefully took the vial. His face lingered close to hers as he administered the elixir over her poison laceration. His eyes were hard with concentration. As the flames nearby brightened, his features illuminated, and she admired his filthy, strikingly handsome appearance. She touched the dry blood that freckled the bridge of his nose and was filled with the guilt of knowing he had killed for her. He risked his life and broke faith with Cloud to find her. She was grateful for his heroism, yet she was confused. Since their night in Porster, he had shown her kindness and understanding, and she was overwhelmed by the attraction that pulled them together, but their kiss still rattled her mind. And she was disappointed in his reluctance to accept that he could feel anything but hatred toward a human. Still, she couldn't overlook his bravery, which was made greater by his lack of trust and empathy for her kind. She knew that he cared, and for her, that was enough.
Thank you for coming back for me. Everything.
His gaze shifted to hers, and she could sense the vulnerability in his usually hardened eyes. No longer was he angry or distrustful person she met so long ago. The warmth of his skin caressed her as their faces drew nearer. He touched her face and then leaned closer, softly kissing her lips. She sighed while pulling him closer. All doubt and uncertainty were made instantly clear as his body pressed against hers. She lay on the grass as he crawled over her and slid his tongue through her lips. Chills covered his skin as she lifted his shirt and felt the muscles and scars along his back. Her eyes opened as he pulled away and met her gaze. The anger and vengeance that once guarded him had vanished. She breathed heavily while staring into the eyes of someone just as broken and defeated as she had always been. He closed his eyes and gulped down his emotions.
Is your mind clear? Has the potion affected you?
She smiled with tear-filled eyes, knowing it had no effect other than sealing her wounds and numbing the pain. Overwhelmed by his familiarity and warmth, she lifted up and met her lips with his once again. Rolling over, she lay on top of him, blanketed by security as his strong arms held her close. His hands trailed down the length of her sides as she sat up. Her skin tingled and her heart raced as she straddled his lap. His body was solid and hard beneath hers as he looked into her eyes with a gaze she had never seen before. It wasn't one of hunger or lust, as it had been with the others she had the misfortune to lay with in the past. His look was different, and for a moment, she was whole. Staring into his eyes, she felt that she had needed for so long acceptance and understanding.
Never clearer.
He wrapped tightly around her as she brought their lips together and lost herself in his touch as they shared this night doing the horizontal mambo.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Ow, wow.
Boing.
That was my thought exactly.
These comments. I hate you.
Well, the first comment that I have, when they're walking through the trees and like the laughter that they're kind of hearing from the woods and footpaths. So those ads for purchasing shrooms on Twitter, did these guys read your book? Because it sounds like these characters already ordered some.
My book is not endorsed by shroom selling bots.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I can't
That was
like
weird.
it was weird. Yeah, let me just try to sell you mushrooms and LSD and fucking PCP and DMT on Twitter.
Yeah, they do it. I think they have a thing because that's happened to me before. It may have been on Instagram. If you do the mushroom emoji, it like signals their account somehow, and they instantly will just start like hounding you to buy product from them. It's weird.
Oh, they're like fucking bloodhounds then.
They're using AI to like target like these messages. They troll like Twitter and whatever to try and find people talk about things that are relevant, and they swarm.
I bet their shrooms aren't even that good either. They're probably just like
The strangers range.
they're probably just like regular mushrooms, you know, that you can buy at the grocery store.
Some portobellos.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, some morels maybe.
There you go. There you go.
I will say, HC, when I read this, like the first thing I thought of, I was like, this is the fucking nudist colony of the goddamn Shire.
Of the Shire.
Yep, that's what I just felt like. This is the fucking Shire, but like the nudist colony version of it.
Okay.
Just what I felt
And
like.
with hobbits?
Yeah.
You think everybody there is 3 feet tall?
But maybe, I don't know. They're all like, you
Hey, size doesn't matter. Okay.
What?
It does,
what, you-
actually.
What, you think the hobbits didn't get frisky? It's like they don't wear shoes. Why do you think they were? What makes you think they wore clothes?
Ooh.
Got me there. It's an interesting image, though, you gotta say. Lork and 3 halflings.
not necessarily that the people there were smaller, but that was just kind of like the vibe I got. Like they're out gardening and shit and, doing whatever, I guess. But I'm like, like you got guys, they're smoking their pipe and just napping and fucking away with their chores. I don't know.
I love it. This is more woodsy, more like Walking Dead style wood than beautiful New Zealand hillsides. So if you think the Shire just uglier, then yeah.
I did not watch The Walking Dead.
It was filmed in my hometown and it really looks like that. It's just a bunch of like tiny pine trees everywhere. Just woods. Is very, very fitting for an apocalypse with zombies in it.
Well, you're from Alabama, right? Or Georgia?
From Georgia.
So it was filmed in your hometown in Georgia?
Mm-hmm. In Noonan.
So you're saying Georgia is like the apocalypse?
The way like the mountains look, it's kind of just like big tall trees. It's not like a pretty like elven forest, it's just like pine straw and grass and dirt. Nothing special, just a regular looking forest. It's not pretty like the Shire, like he was saying.
Jan, I will say, as an American, when I think of Georgia, I do not think of mountains. I think of Atlanta and a big fucking airport.
Georgia's pine trees, and that's about it. That's all that we have is pine trees and clay.
And Atlanta.
Well, I mean, yeah, Atlanta. Who cares about that place, though? That place sucks.
Well, I don't know. I've been to the airport. That's it.
We have a subway in our airport because it is so big.
Yeah, it's like the biggest fucking it was like the biggest international airport in the world, I thought, for a while. Maybe it's not anymore.
I think it was. I don't know if it still is. Denver's pretty big too. Anyways. Talking about airports now, what happened?
I guess my other thought is when, the high as fuck woman is like clapping happily and she's like, yes, follow us, come along. My question for you is, was that the only thing that was clapping?
Well, she wasn't bent over, Justin, so yes.
Well, I mean, like when your body has a lot of follow through when you're excited. So.
Does it?
Just saying. Well, I mean, like she's like.
The way you were clapping kind of horrified me, I have to say.
Imagine that with a woman naked. I mean.
Yeah.
That are touching each other.
He's dreaming. He's thinking about kitty clapping.
Clapping or clapping?
Clapping.
Both.
You just have to read and find out.
Oh, it's
Justin.
How she was clapping. Gotcha.
It is.
Are you serious? Does Lork make her clap too?
Raffo.
Yeah.
Anything I don't want to answer is just read and find out.
You do know there are nudist colonies where people just walk around naked and just exist nude.
Yeah, there's a couple here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the nudist beach when we went to Hawaii, but my husband was like, no. And I was like, not fun. I think it'd be cool. I'm a nudist.
When I was in Miami, there was one like a mile down the beach from our hotel.
It's very freeing to just be naked out in the world.
God damn it. Sorry, I'm watching my hockey game and we fucking got scored on 30 seconds into the game. God damn it. Anyways,
I'm waiting for that.
Back to the nudist talk.
We're talking about naked people here. Pay attention.
Think about nudes.
I can't think about nudes when my hockey team's losing.
Think about your hockey team playing nude.
That would be terrible.
But that's cold.
Yeah, they can use their built-in sticks.
He's too mad to laugh.
Damn.
We'll find out why the one guy's nickname is Tripod.
Well, okay. To the next Sorry about your
Yeah. It's going to ruin my mood now for the rest of the night. Don't worry.
Boo-hoo. Near's mood is up, up, up.
And Nair is happy.
Nier is very happy.
Avalok's happy as well.
Depends on how well Avalok's doing, I suppose, and how happy she is.
Avalok did fine.
We need that as a bumper sticker. Avalok did fine.
Avalok kind of scared me. Do you think it's safe? No. I can't even do it.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
Now, is this like the regular definition of fine, or is this like the female's definition of fine?
Yeah, yawn.
Female.
Oh!
Oh, shit.
Yui.
Avalok misperformed.
Avalok, no.
Avalok, your nickname is Avalcock. You underperformed.
It's been a while.
I really like this part where Avalok is like, you shouldn't take anything these people give. They lost their minds. And I'm like, oh, Avalok, they're fucking high as a kite. It's fine. They'll be fine. Just
Unless they've lost their minds because they're always so high.
they're fine. You're just high. This is just the regular version of fine. It's cool.
The regular version.
Chill.
But it could be a trap.
It could be.
Things that like to start with make you feel good end up entrapping you because you never want to feel that feeling of goodness.
Like having sex on ecstasy type of thing.
You might know more about that than me.
I don't actually. I've heard that if you have sex on ecstasy, it's like the best you'll ever have.
So which part don't you know about, Justin? The sex or the ecstasy?
Derek, I have 2 children.
I guess that's one more than me.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. The last thing that I had was when I just couldn't help laugh when I read it is when Avalok takes the vial and then like their faces lingered close to hers as like he's administering it, and then his eyes were hard with concentration. And I'm just like, that's not the only thing that's hard right now.
I love how whenever you search for all these, is it an innuendo? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like, I love like when you search for them, you find so many. Like, my book is just like full of them.
You can find innuendo everywhere if you start looking.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole for sure. I mean, we would be on this podcast for a good 5 hours just in this chapter. You know how many times hard is mentioned? Or like, come along, you know?
Maybe it's all subconscious. I did that on purpose to foreshadow what was to come.
Ooh, you did. But
Was it a giant release?
With all the swords.
Yes.
Yes.
Those large swords. Those veiny swords.
See, some are not so subtle.
Oh, God. And does Avalok not realize that he could have had Nier and another girl?
Maybe he doesn't want another girl. Maybe he just wants Nier.
It doesn't matter.
In a hole.
But the thing is, Avalok doesn't really like humans. And the thing that he's attracted to Nier, even though she's a human, is strange for him. So, of course, he wouldn't be attracted to some strange hippy-dippy bitch that just comes up and, like, flashes her tits at him. But he's attracted
Especially
to Nier.
when he sounds like a man.
Yeah. He's attracted to Nier because of who she is.
A creeper?
Get out.
I think you've got a good point, Jan.
Yes.
Jan does. Jan sees the deeper side because he's not American. Non-Americans have deep brains.
Oh. Yeah.
That's why so many non-Americans love my books. Let's just be real.
That's fair. He was the one.
Exactly what he said is exactly the truth. So
I'm not countering it. I'm just having fun with the hard eyes. So.
Oh, Nier had a lot of fun with it too. Well, I guess not that much fun.
You said it was fine.
It was fine.
Right.
Yeah, but Europeans don't always brag.
You know what?
I think.
Something about Europeans bragging, which is totally
I thought
fine.
you said brag. Repeat yourself.
Europeans don't always brag.
Oh, Downfall of America.
Americans suck. All right, let's continue on.
Well, that was the last that I had. You know,
No, it wasn't.
yes, it was.
No, you had
No, it
another
wasn't.
comment.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, my last comment.
Calling me out on my bad writing.
Dude,
No, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that it was a very straightforward chapter. You know, a lot of connections were made. What else can I say? The
straight like an iron rod.
right, like the kitchen piping underneath my sink. Yeah, the just like okay,
Like a fish hook?
yeah, sure, like a P trap.
Boy, wow.
All right.
What the hell did I say?
I don't know, man. It started a tangent that didn't mean anything. It was fine. Lastly, when they're, doing the mambo, the horizontal mambo, right? I'm just like, what about her concerns for Lorik? Too busy musing on orgies and threesomes and Eve to even think about poor old Lorik right now. Shouldn't she be by his side doing all of this?
Doing Avalok.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird, man.
I mean,
I will say I don't want to wake up next to you and whoever getting it on,
why
even
not?
if
Right.
my life is in the balance.
Especially if
need
they're
that.
getting it on mediocrely. Like, come on, at least do good Avalok.
But also, as I read it, these people, she seems to trust these people, even though they are hippy dippy. So she knows that they're going to take care of him, of Laurie. And is it going to help if she's standing by? They've taken him. They've taken him off to take care of him and look after him and heal him. So yeah, she puts her trust in the hippies, even though Avalok. Oh dear, oh dear.
I
Another
don't know.
goal.
He's not paying
off.
attention.
It's 2-0 now, so I'm shutting it off. My focus is here.
I mean, no, I'm going off of what Jan said because that is kind of the direction. It was mostly Nier's been spending days and days and days crying and worrying and healing Lorik and we saw her on the ride there. Like they spent days getting here and she was just worried the entire time and they took him from her and she has no idea where he even is. Like they just took him and they are not telling her where he is. So what else is she going to do? Chase him down, burn down their village? Like she's just going to, her mind is just, she's exhausted. So she's just going to kind of take in this place that is almost, she's like mystified to be here because, you hear about places like this, but you don't ever visit them. It's in the middle of the freaking mountains out in nowhere. So she's just, in my mind,
The
she's
perfect spot for a
exhausted.
nudist colony.
Yeah, she's like exhausted and she's overwhelmed and she's emotional and she's been through so much stuff. Lorik might die. She's with Avalok. He's taking care of her. She's never felt this with anyone else, really, but Lorik in a way. So she just kind of lets her emotions just kind of take over. She just lets loose, kind of, from all the stuff
She didn't feel like she felt close to Lorik, but she never felt like that with Lorik.
Yeah, Lorik has always been more of like a brother. Like she knows that he loves her, but she's never had someone that's like cared so deeply and would do what Avalok did. Like he's going against everything he's ever believed to save her, and he's killing people for her and stuff. So she's just, I mean, Lorik might die. Everything might come to an end tonight. Like he may die, so she's just not worrying about it anymore. Go with the flow.
He basically already had died when they slit his throat, and then she saved him with her magic. So she has been as far as she can be pushed, basically.
Yeah.
And these hippies look nice.
Yeah, all fun set aside. I'm glad to see them here. I'm glad to see that Lorik is on his way out, out of recovery, but getting to some help, getting healed. Not Lorik, but Avalok and Nier kind of resolve the sexual tension between the two.
You've been waiting for that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it coming.
You're like, God damn, where they gonna kiss? Where they gonna fuck? Let's go.
They're gonna, when are they gonna get it on? So
He's been saying that since Avalok was first introduced.
see, I
True.
predicted it.
That was in chapter like 5.
Right. Yeah.
But also, how dangerous are naked?
That's true.
right?
They're not threatening at all. They're walking around naked.
I'm just saying, if somebody ran at me naked and if somebody ran at me with clothes on, I'd be more afraid of the naked guy running at me. Let's just be real.
Well, okay, like they coming at you full mast or like no, because
Either
that's
way.
going to determine things for me.
I mean, either way, if somebody's running around naked and they're about to attack me or something, I'm going the other direction. I'm running toward the person with clothes on.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
Depends on how good looking they are, I guess.
Wow.
Like if they're good enough looking, are you taking your clothes off too?
I'm taking my chances.
I mean, I might
Oh, Lord.
if
We're gonna get
if I
banned.
wasn't married.
right.
Oh, yes, right.
Right.
You just had to add that in case your wife listens to the podcast.
She
Right.
won't.
Yeah, she never will. What am I saying this for? Shoot. Even though I am married, I'm taking my chances. You'll never know.
Wow. Dang.
Anyways,
Well, that's all I had to say about that. So I guess we all good on moving on to the next chapter where I still don't have any parts.
That was one thing. Isn't it ogling, not oogling?
ogling.
Oh,
Ogling.
link.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means? Or are you
Yeah.
asking?
No, it's the pronunciation was a bit
Oh.
weird.
Yeah,
Googling,
Justin's
not-
just a little slow.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at him. He looks slow. Stop it.
What
Uh,
do you mean I'm slow? There's no female hippies in this chapter.
it's just
Yeah.
naked.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, there is. They've heard that the elves are magical.
I had Random Woman 1 and Random Woman 2. I think there's actually 3, but
I don't know what your acronyms are, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, what is SM2?
I used to know.
SM. I think that's
Strange
Random.
Man.
Strange Man. Oh my god.
Strange mange too.
Look, this is how he did it in Malazan, and I just had to change it. It was like LE in like TTY or
Lady-
something.
Well, Lady Envy and Talk the Younger. TTY.
Yeah, so I had to change it to Lady Envy because I was like, I'm not doing all this. I just like did a mass change, and I changed it all to Lady Envy because it was so much easier for me to see it.
But it's a lot less typing for me to do LE versus typing out Lady
You know, if
Envy.
you would just have HC send you the chapters, then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
You do not like. I don't know why, Justin, but I had so much anxiety when I tried doing it that way. I'm like, fuck this. I can't do it. I just got to like do it how I know. It was so stressful. It's stupid.
I can't
Stupid.
remember half a sentence at a time when I'm like trying to translate it because like on top of reading it and then trying to like dumb it down is the wrong phrase, but like put it into a way that would, be easy for someone who really hasn't read the chapter, that are just following along for the sake of following along or like reading or like following along with like an audiobook or whatever the case is, trying to like, simplify and actually create a synopsis out of it. Dumbing down is not the right word. HC, don't look so upset.
I'm waiting for you to stop talking.
Oh, wow.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Cool. I'm done.
Telling me not to look so upset.
Nobody wants me to know to hear me. Okay, I'm fine.
You weren't even talking to me.
No, it's cool. We can move on. I'm good.
Love you.
Justin, it is unbelievable to me how much like there's no reason it should cause me stress to like try to do it that way, but I'm just like I can't. I just can't. I got it like I open the book, I've got it set next to me and I'm typing, I'm like, okay, blah blah blah. Versus just like looking at everything on page and being like, okay, like for the sake of brevity, I'm gonna like take this out. Like I just can't, it doesn't work in my mind.
See, like, I'm not a fan of like actually typing it. Like, I would rather just go through and like edit it, if that makes sense. Like, take the fluff that doesn't need to be there to convey the message and just get rid of that. And then move the conversations into the form that we do it,
I mean, we're apparently both very different and our ways work for us. So that's what matters, right?
Whatever works.
Sounds like a conversation y'all should have after we're done recording.
Oh, really? Maybe
Oh, HC, do you have somewhere better to be? Sorry, it's not fucking 2:30 in the morning here like it is for Jan.
I know.
2:34 actually.
He is like, can we be done with this? We haven't even started the next chapter.
I'm
I had
ready
a
to go to
suggestion.
bed.
Wait a minute. I'll explain my day to you today. I had a meeting we normally have a morning meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning that lasts about 15 minutes at work.
You said 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And
Okay.
we shortly go through what the tasks are for the day. It lasted 1 fucking hour, and nearly nothing of it had to do with my task. But I had to sit there and listen to these people talking about things that had nothing to do with me. So actually, this I'm used to. This is no, this is fine.
Are you sure
That's annoying.
everything's fine? Because HC seems to have an issue with it.
What?
Yeah. Are you drinking wine or mead, or do you have? That's a nice tulip glass you've got there.
No, it's number 500 Imperial India Pale Ale.
Ooh.
He's speaking my language.
Speaking the language.
Skål.
Skål.
Scout.
You know what skål means?
I did know. What does it mean?
It means bowl.
Yeah.
Bold?
Bowl. Like a bowl.
Why do they say they say bowl?
It's a bowl, like a large bowl that you'd have the meat in it in the bowl, and you toss it from person to person.
Oh,
Everybody at the Vikings game wants to get really high, Justin.
yeah. They can put their weed in it. Okay.
Oh,
A drinking bowl.
oh, gotcha.
Those aren't as
Gotcha.
fun.
I mean, we can make a bowl that big.
All right. Well,
Okay, cool. I'm done. All right. I'll shut up.
He's so upset. Stop it.
Are you going to be Random Woman 1 or 2, Justin?
I had a suggestion.
I'll be both.
Oh, okay.
I think 3 of us should be like, I'll be random woman or random man and strange woman 1, and somebody can be random man and strange woman 2. That way it's easier to keep up with. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Why don't I will just narrate and I'll be Lorik and you guys can be everybody else.
Oh, we got to know who we are, though.
Well, figure it out amongst yourselves.
I'll be the first ones. Jan will be the second ones. Justin will be the third ones. How's that?
I don't think I actually numbered 1 3.
Whoa, well, if there
remember
is.
right.
I thought there were 3. I thought you said there were 3.
No, it's 1 and 2.
Oh, well, Justin doesn't have any dialogue, so.
It's fine. It's cool.
I think there was 3, but I wasn't sure at the time when I was going through it. I think I only numbered them 1 and 2.
Oh.
So it's on me.
That's okay. I'll just sit back and listen and giggle. It's cool.
No,
All right.
because Jan's Avalok, so you can be strange man and strange woman too.
Okay.
I'll be 1.
All right, Jan.
Right.
Let's let it rip with this epigraph here again.
The tears of Numenera shall cure any strife. Just a few drops would have saved your life.
Perfect.
Love it. Justin left. I really upset him.
He left.
Goodbye forever.
He left us. This is like Jurassic Park. He left us.
It's about time.
Oh, hey, that's my friend you're talking about.
He can't hear you.
Yeah, you can.
When he edits it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Crap.
Is he? I don't have my camera up.
Yeah,
am I starting or no?
Yep.
Okay.
You could have started. It's cool.
The next morning, Near bathed under a small waterfall, cleaning herself as she felt her newly formed scars. All the while, she thought about Avalok and their night together. She had never felt as whole and as safe as she had with him. However, those feelings were short-lived as the realization of their journey came back to her mind. She wasn't sure they would all survive the trials. As day after day passed, guilt crept back into her mind, and she thought to reconsider. She found herself stroking the brand that adorned her arm. It was a vile thing, and she hated it. Taking a deep breath, she put her head under the waterfall, and the water washing over her, the wicked memories away for the time. Near began to feel uneasy with all the time alone, so she dressed and made her way back to the village. She met Avalok while he dug through the saddlebags of his horse, while a strange man pet the horse.
Oh, the wonders you must hold. If only you could speak, then we know the true beauty of your kind.
Near stepped past the stranger and asked Avalok what he was doing. He said making sure nothing was stolen.
These people aren't out to get us, you know.
You can near be too careful.
It's supposed to say
I
never.
imagine that was supposed to be never. That was my bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was guessing it was gonna supposed to be never, but
I
yeah,
like it.
yeah. No, it works. Good morning, my friend. Pleasant day we're having, yes.
It's been lovely. I
Near fell silent as the man stepped past her and was actually greeting the horse.
How was your night? I do hope we didn't give you too much of a scare.
Near looked at Avalok, and they both were just as confused as the other.
Is there any word on Lorik?
Your friend is doing marvelously. I had Luna and Beck taken to the hot springs. You should join them. It's a wondrous time.
The man took Near's hand and led her away. As she walked, she locked eyes with Avalok. Irritated, he secured his belongings and told the remaining man if he touched his things, he would lose a hand. The man laughed and called him a silly elf. Avalok caught up with Near, and despite the village being fairly populated, they still followed a narrow trail into the woods. Near looked at the villagers who walked around totally naked without a care in the world. Eventually, they arrived at a beautiful log cabin. As they climbed to the entrance, a man put a flower necklace on her head, then kissed her cheek and walked away into the woods.
How is this place so green?
We gift Anwen with our respect and admiration, and she gifts us with her beauty.
Beauty.
Come on, Derek.
Just making sure everybody's awake. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Booty?
With her booty. Oh, okay. Booties are good.
Possibly bounty?
Nope.
No, it's booty. Right.
We got fucking Beyonce here, and it's bootylicious, bitches.
I'm just imagining a statue just with a big voluptuous behind.
Badonkadonk.
Yeah.
Uh,
Justin.
we
Near was
gift
surprised.
I thought I was going to do the booty line now.
Oh, well, go for it.
We gift Anwen with our respect and admiration, and she gifts us with her booty.
And what a booty it is. Near was surprised to hear that name as it was representative of the old ways. With the Order of Sorrow repealed when the high priest Bainan was raised up. Everywhere else used the name Numera in place of Adwin, as it didn't have any Avish ties. Inside the cabin was a marble statue of Numera. Near had to touch it to know if it was real or not, as the details were perfect. Statues of the divines were rare in Lynn, as the Brotherhood had destroyed most. As she looked at the statue, she questioned her beliefs. She had never fully believed in the six, nor had she denied them, which left her somewhere in the middle, always questioning and wondering if what the Order said was true. Her head thought it was all a lie to keep the powerful in charge, while her heart said otherwise. When she had considered the abundance of beauty and health bestowed upon those of Mange, it was hard to deny the possibility of Numera's existence. The man took Near outside to a hot spring with dozens of people enjoying their warmth. Near heard her name called, and her heart jumped as Lorik's voice called to her. She turned to find him standing behind her. She grabbed him and hugged him tight.
Lorik, I'm so glad you're okay.
You too, Neri.
How did they capture you? What happened?
I heard you screaming and went running to help. Then I saw the Order tying you up to a horse. I ran over to help you, but they hit me over the head.
How can you be so stupid, Lorik? Do you have a death wish?
I wasn't going to let them take you without a fight. I'd give my last breath to save you, and you know it.
Don't do that again. I don't know what I'd do without you.
I love you, Neri. We're family. I won't let anything happen to you. Are you all right? How'd you escape?
I'm fine. Avalok came for us. He took out the knights on his own.
And the High Priest?
I thought I killed him, but he's alive.
7 hells! Well, at least we're alive, yeah. Live to fight another day. Near tried to keep all her emotions in check. Lorik turned to Avalok and extended his palm face up to him. Avalok looked at Near in confusion. She told him to slide his fingers across Lorik's palm. It was a sign of respect. Avalok did it, and Lorik smiled. Gorgeous here, isn't it?
Yeah, I never knew Mange was like this.
Me neither. And the women here are so... Lorik was ogling a couple of naked women as they walked by.
You're a pig.
I deserve something nice for all my troubles. A nice stew, a good breakfast, and some of that good old morning delight should do the trick.
I'll be sure to find you a good kitchen wench back in Porster.
I like 'em blonde and aggressive. Come on, then. Don't got much further till Asgard. Could use the distractions, yeah? Nier looked back at Avelik and then followed Lorik down to the pool. Nier found a spot away from everyone while Lorik smiled at a group of women who were relaxing. They smiled and giggled, then their eyes saw Avelik, thinking about the exotic elf as the cat called him over.
Come join us. The water's just lovely here.
That was actually not bad.
You sound like salad fingers, dude.
My spoon is too big.
I don't know. I could have been attracted by that.
Avalok had no interest in the women. I wonder why.
And they continued further down the path. You sure you want to be so far from the others?
Go wherever you like.
What do you suppose they're eating? Looks like leaves. Nier shrugged, not caring, and found a comfortable spot in the water to sit. Lorik dabbled his toe in and then followed her in. She looked to Avalok, who was undressing on the shore, noticing the scars she couldn't see in the dark. Yoo-hoo!
Oh my god. Your first woman waves like a wacky waving arm man, and the next one's like, woo-hoo.
That was me.
Oh, I thought it was Justin.
No, that was me. There was a delay, so I went for it.
He did his arms up and he said it.
That was so enticing.
Avalok may reconsider this.
I know it's about time for last call where you're at, Jan, but I mean, you're going to have to hold out a little longer here for that. So Avalok turned to see the woman who had hollered after him a few minutes ago had actually followed him down the path. They were naked and dripping water off their bodies as they touched his arms and face. What's going on? I don't see what's so great. Damn pale face looks just like all the others.
Maybe a couple more push-ups. They'll be flocking to you too.
You are quite handsome. Are you human?
Why?
I don't know. Let's go with it.
He must be a divine.
Look at those ears.
Oh god. No wonder these women live in the mountains.
I'm sure they have beards too.
Yeah.
Hey, women with beards can be sexy too.
Aww.
Beards are sexy.
Beards for everybody. We love them.
Okay. Avalok pulled her hand away and held her wrist while the other woman kept manhandling him. Nier came to his rescue and they wanted to know where she had found him. Nier said he was an Eve, and the woman couldn't believe she had snagged an elf, and such a handsome one at that. One of the women led Nier and Avalok back into the water, saying there was room for everyone, while another woman had said she had never been with an elf before, but she heard it was magical. Looking irritated, Nier told Avalok that they meant no harm.
Want to spend the afternoon in the arms of three gorgeous...
Make it go away.
Oh my god. Avalok's scary.
Well, he's scared. He's not used to this.
Have it your way then. Sorry, ladies. He's wearied from travel. But my friend Ebert here is a famous bard.
The women soon had their hands on him, feeding him food and rubbing his waist and thighs.
Are you this popular back home?
No.
This is really how Avalok would say it, too. That's the funniest part. Shame. All those looks and talents shouldn't go unnoticed.
She motioned him to follow her, and Nier picked a spot beneath the cherry blossom tree and sunk into the water. Avalok sat, stretched arms out to the side as he watched the woods, water running over his scars.
I was just admiring your scars.
What's to admire?
They show your strength and courage. I imagine you got this one by saving some damsel in distress. Seems to be your motive.
I'm not as heroic as you think.
Really? Taking out half a dozen knights without so much as a scratch is pretty damn heroic.
I may have gotten a scratch or two.
Lucky knights.
He turned away, chuckling. Nier was able to catch a smile that broke through a scowl that had never seemed to leave. She looked over, seeing Lorik having a hell of a time, thinking that he deserved more than a single night with the women.
Why are you seeking the trials?
The high priest cursed me as a child, and now I'm bound to him anytime I use my magic. I found an object that holds energy powerful enough to break the curse, but it's protected by its own enchantments. The waters of Namashel should be enough to dispel it and allow me to harness the energy inside.
The trials are forbidden because of their brutality and danger. Even the strongest dream will have fallen.
I can't keep living this way, always watching over my shoulder, always with the pain of constraining my energy. Magic is a curse. If I could take it away, I would.
I think this is more than just releasing the curse of freeing your people. You want vengeance.
What if I do? What if I wish to harm someone? Would you oppose me? Call me evil or vile or a creature of darkness like the high priest has made everyone believe? The child of sky. That's what they call me. They say I'm the direct descendant of the vain and murderous divine Nizolt.
Avelik sat quiet for a time, which allowed Nier time to cool down. When he spoke, it wasn't out of reproach, but a voice of concern.
I allowed vengeance to control my actions, and it cost me everything. What I thought was emptiness, and what I knew was pain, are comfort in comparison to the misery I am now. You still have kindness in you, Nier. Kindness that will cease once you truly lose everything.
You're forgetting one thing, Avalok. I have already lost everything. He's taken my family, my home, my freedom. Vengeance is the only thing I have left. The High Priest is vicious. He condemns magic, yet uses it to protect himself from harm. If I'm ever to defeat him, I'll have to gain enough strength to break through his enchantments and curses. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to kill him. And once I release this curse, nothing can stop me.
Nice job, everybody.
Jan, you have to come back every time. You're the perfect Avalok. We actually have someone with the appropriate accent.
How lucky that we know somebody who lives in Norway.
Yeah, that's pretty random.
Hold on. I think my car alarm's going off. It wasn't mine. Yay. I hope it wasn't mine.
Yay, so someone else's car gets stolen.
Right? I just bought my car 2 days ago, so I'm like, please don't steal my car. Steal
That's
the
the
crap.
perfect time to. That's the perfect time to steal it.
I know.
And insurance will cover everything.
Yeah, but I like my car, so I'd rather not.
Fair.
Fair.
Is it electric?
Is it? You said is it electric?
Mm.
No, we don't really do those over here.
About 80% of cars sold in Norway nowadays are electric.
Well, I think the main thing about electric cars in America is that they don't go very far and we drive very long distances. Like a lot of people in Europe, they can kind of walk places. And a lot of people, at least in the UK, don't even have a license. We have, like, my husband drives, well, you don't know miles probably, but he drives 30 miles to work one.
It's about what I drive one way.
Yeah, it's really far. So your battery would drain very fast, and it takes like 8 hours or something to recharge it. You don't have a lot.
And Jan, I work in, I guess not in I guess probably an industry opposed to electric, but we take corn and turn it into fuel basically.
I work in a union that organizes oil workers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're the largest union for oil workers in Norway.
Nice. I think electric is coming. It's just our infrastructure is probably not ready. I mean, like California, like they're pushing electrics hard, and like their grid just can't handle it. And then you've got like Texas, when it gets too cold, their fucking grid fails, and their congressman goes to Mexico.
Yeah, Ted Cruz runs off.
Yeah, mostly because he's a piece of shit. So, yeah, I'm sure. Like. Obviously, like Justin and I live in Minnesota. We live in the northern part of the country. We've had a super mild winter. It's been unbelievable. We had like a week and a half where it was 0 or below 0. Not much at all.
No, I've taken my kids to the park every day last week because it was nice outside. Like 45 degrees.
People were golfing in Minnesota in January. Like that doesn't happen. Like, which speaks to like climate change, because like that's not normal. But
yeah, it's going to be 72 here next week, which is 22 Celsius. It's going to be really, really nice.
Okay, yeah, I thought you said 22 minus, but no, 22.
Oh no, it's been 65, which is 18 Celsius here. Like this whole month, it's been really nice.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, we've been way above average.
It's because the El Nino thing that warmed everything up.
We've had more snow than normal.
I've heard we're supposed to get a La Nina.
Y'all
like
keep talking at the same time.
I know. Sorry, Jan. I don't mean to.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, no, we've had more snow than normal. It's been colder than normal here.
I imagine you're a little further north than we are.
But I think that's still.
We don't normally get snow in the area of Norway where I live.
Oh, really?
I feel like it's all connected, though. because
it's-
sorry,
Somebody finish their thought.
Jan, go.
So it seems weather's getting more extreme. It's like it's where here it's been colder than it normally is, and places where it's warmer, it's getting warmer than it normally is. So the extremes are getting more extreme, basically.
Well, I think it's all connected, like, because we have an El Nino system coming through, which is warm air that comes from the Pacific, is pushing up. It happens like every 7 years. And I feel like that warm air, whenever it mixes up with like Greenland and Canada, by the time it reaches you, it probably gets cold again. So it's making it colder where you are since it's so warm when it's here. That's probably why. Like, I feel like that whole is probably connected somehow. But I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. What the heck do I know?
I don't know. I know I saw, we got the El Nino winter, but I saw something saying it's supposed to be like a La Nina, like summer, so it's supposed to be wetter and colder than normal also. I don't know if it's true or not, but I guess we'll see.
Guess so.
Anyways, on chapter 28 of your book, HC, I thought it was interesting that it didn't take too long for Nir's focus to shift from where she felt safe and comfortable being alone in the wilderness to being nervous.
Well, I don't really think it ever says she felt comfortable being alone. She said she felt she had never felt as comfortable as she did with Avalok. And then she was sitting alone and she started to have all these dark thoughts. And that kind of made her uncomfortable with being alone because all of her dark thoughts started to make her kind of paranoid and afraid.
I guess, sure, I'm not going to argue about it. I just remember a couple chapters ago, there was something where she was in the woods and she felt she thought she felt safe or something similar to that. Not terribly long ago.
I think you're thinking whenever she got captured and she was nervous and she had to convince herself, no, I'm fine, it's fine. And then she got captured.
Maybe that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, she just got kidnapped when she was sitting by herself. So of course she's going to be feeling a bit nervous when she's sitting by herself. When she knows that the high priest came back to life by using magic and is most likely after her again.
Yeah, Derek.
Sorry, guys. You know what? Also, HC, I had said I'd been itching to get to one of your page inserts, and we got one.
Isn't it so beautiful?
Yeah, it's really cool. And we've got another one here coming up in the next chapter, too. Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Thank you.
How did that process work? How did you communicate what you wanted to the artist?
I basically just send because I did it with my cousin. She did most of the work on it.
Okay.
So that kind of makes it a lot easier because I can really just have a good back and forth with her. But what I do whenever I send stuff to other artists that aren't in my family, I send them a detailed sort of outline, I guess, if you want to call it that, of what I'm looking for. And I'll also send them clips of the chapter. So with this one, I sent her what the statue looked like. And then I also sent her kind of an outline or whatever you want to call it of what Mange kind of was like and what the area looks like so that they can have an idea.
Well, this one's, I assume it's Nier and a horse. And yeah, I imagine you got this on Kindle, right, Jan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking at a different one.
No,
yeah, that's not
this is the one that we
random
just.
People.
Oh, that's random person. Okay.
Yeah, it's just random people.
But yeah, it's still really good. I love it, and it's awesome to have.
It's supposed to be the people of Mange with a horse because they're in love with horses.
Well, she's not naked, HC.
No, she's not naked.
The people of Mange love everyone, but they do love horses.
Yeah.
We're gonna get banned. Stay quiet.
Just as I'm not taking this any further. They love something about horses.
We're gonna make some very inappropriate jokes that are gonna get us all canceled.
Yep. I think we already did.
We all telepathically.
Do not send us any YouTube videos of that.
I do not want to know what that reminds you of, Derek.
Let me send you a link. I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like them.
But yeah, there was something else. I mentioned it before in Justin's chapter, but yeah, it's a nudist colony filled with stone hippies, which is kind of cool.
I love it. Mange is my favorite place in the whole book. I would absolutely live there if I could.
Who wouldn't?
Right?
Maybe insecure
Of,
people.
of all the other places, who wouldn't?
Yeah, that's true. Everywhere else in my book kind of sucks.
It's like
That's
everywhere else is blood and death and killing, and here's a whole bunch of people walking around naked, being happy. Where would you choose to live?
Happy and
It's a
high
pretty.
and having sex all
Yeah,
the time. It's like
yeah.
a triple
Oh,
whammy.
was that implied?
What, the sex?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're walking around naked, kissing each other and holding hands, kissing strangers.
Yeah, it's pretty implied.
yeah.
Justin, it sounds like Mankato. STDs must be rampant here.
Those don't exist in my world.
Well,
You
if
seem
you'd like to know
disappointed
anything about
that.
if you'd like to know something about the town that Justin and I grew up in and that I still live at, we're like the third highest city in the state for like STD rates
You know why?
Oh.
You know the reason why.
Yeah,
because
just
the college is like 1 of 4 people have an STD.
It's because people from the surrounding areas go to Mankato to get tested.
Oh,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
that makes sense. Yeah.
that skews the statistics, but I still believe it's just.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with both of you. But
Justin gets around.
yeah, so much
He
so.
thinks he does. Earlier, we were like, have you ever even had sex before? And now we're like, he gets around. He's the reason.
I mean, the reason Mankato is so
It's
statistic.
like
Dirty.
Yeah.
Justin's nickname is the epidemic.
Oh.
Damn.
Get me a penicillin shot.
Yeah. Don't tell my girl.
I do really like both the names of Numera and Anwin.
Onwin.
Anwin, whatever.
Unrun.
They're both really good. And I don't know that I prefer one or the other. I like having both of them.
I like Onwin. I think it sounds prettier, but Numera to me sounds more like an elemental goddess name for some reason.
They both kind of just roll off the tongue well, and like they both fit into a story like this really well.
I get complimented a lot on my character and place names, specifically my place names. A lot of people always compliment me on those, and I'm just like, I don't even know how. I just literally just make up words, and it just kind of works.
But
I don't know. Go ahead, Jan.
But it's also typical for cultures that overtake an area to rename the gods.
Yeah, there's a reason, as I've always said in every episode, for things like that, which obviously will come out later. But as you can see, there are Avish names for some of the gods, which you kind of makes you wonder why. Like, why are there Avish names for the human gods when the elves and the humans don't even get along? And then it seems like from dialogue with Avalok and Cloud, they've never even heard of the word divine. They don't even know what it means. So it's kind of weird, that the divines, some of them have Avish names.
Dum dum dum.
I guess we'll just have to raffle on that one.
Well, I like that. You're not sticking with one or the other. You're using both, which
Interchangeably. Yeah.
which to me, for the books that I've read seems kind of unique. Maybe obviously I've not read everything, but with what I've read, I don't feel like you get a lot of that. So I think that's cool. And it just feels more immersive to me. And like I said, I just really like both of them. And I like having both of them being used so I can just read them and just get the feel for it.
And it was hard to do that because you can get really confused, especially with weird names like that. It can become really confusing because you may forget what Numera is or what Onwin is. But I tried to slowly incorporate Avish words in particular, like Dremel and Eve. Like, I kind of use them interchangeably until I don't, and then I just start using one. But you eventually just know what both of them mean because I try to do it in a very tactful way. So I'm glad that you enjoy that because it was not easy to kind of integrate two languages into one.
I think you pulled it off really well. And like I said, yeah, I dig it a lot. So I hope there's more of that later on.
Oh, they go to the Elvish Forest, so there's definitely more. In book 2, they go to the deserts, and there's a whole new race with a whole new language introduced. So I used a lot of footnotes to translate their words because it did get confusing. Because I want to keep that immersion where they're using their own language, but it can get kind of confusing. So I did put footnotes in there to kind of remind you this is what this word means and this is how you say it. So tried to help because it does get a little confusing in book 2, but I couldn't really figure out how to work around it very well. So it's a little clunkier in that one. But in book 3, it's a lot. It's kind of more like this because it's elvish stuff. You're a little bit more intimate and you get to know the elves a lot more than you get to know the desert people.
Cool.
Personally, I think that's a good thing because then you become immersed in a new reality. It works to build the universe that you're creating within the book.
Thank you. That's what I wanted. That's why I changed a lot of like the regular like elf. I did not want to use elf because I wanted to separate my world from ours. And even though it's a fantasy world, elf is very earth. You know, like we use elf for everything. So if you see the word elf, you're kind of not really transported out to another world because it's so used in our world. Does that make sense? So I wanted them to have like their own word for it, but I couldn't just call them Eve because you don't know what that is. So like that's why elf is in it, but it eventually phases itself out. So you're kind of fully immersed in this world and in their language. And I just try to separate it as much from our world as I could.
And then it makes it clever to make elf a form of slur against the Eve.
Yeah. I tried to figure out, it took me a long time to figure out how to phase it out organically because I was like, why? I wanted to only call them Eve, but then nobody knows what an Eve is. So I had to use elf. So I was like, how can I get it to where that's not a good thing? Like, I don't want them to say it. I was like, oh, it's just not a good thing. That's it. That's the reason. I'm glad it works. I'm glad you guys like it. It was not easy, like I said.
My last thought on this chapter is just at the very end with the talk of vengeance. And to me, I feel like vengeance means different things to different people, or at least that they hold it differently, where Avelak is trying to be like the voice of reason. Like he's gone through vengeance and he's had that time to cool down and reflect on it. You know, clearly he must have gone through some type of similar path, and he wants Nier to avoid that, where Nier seems to be kind of still fresh in that like I'm just holding on to hate right now, and he doesn't want her to. I feel like he doesn't want her to end up where he's at, like cold and I guess nasty and stuff, because he still sees good in her, but it doesn't seem like he thinks there's much that's good about himself. And I think it was Avelak, but somebody had a quote, something along the lines of "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." And it, like that whole kind of interaction made me think of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's also parallel to Malazan with Buke and Gruntle a little bit, right? The whole empty cave speech that Buke gives Gruntle as they're, walking away from the Daru district to the barracks. HC, you probably don't even know what that means, but
oh yeah.
So I can see the
like a name
comparisons.
Buke and Barrack, okay, or whatever their names were.
Gruntle and Buke.
Gruntle.
I know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So it's just as you were talking, Derek, that kind of reminded me of that. I feel like we've had a similar conversation, so it's
Sure.
kind of cool that there's some parallels there.
It's you could say it's a reformed alcoholic, an alcoholic who's been through alcoholism and come out the other side. He's seen the darkest depths that can be achieved through alcoholism and come out and can try and warn against it. But people who are on their way into alcoholism will not understand how bad it can get until they reach the lowest point possible themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what it's kind of like what Avalok was saying. Like, I mean, it goes along with what Derek's saying, too. Just he lost. Apparently, Avalok has lost everything, and we can kind of see that in him with how alone he is, and how angry he is, and how much hatred he has.
Just how he treats other people. I mean, obviously he's kind of coming around on Nier, but like he's still guarded, or appears to me to be guarded. He doesn't want to let that down, or is reluctant to.
Yeah, and I mean, it could, he doesn't want Nier to go down this path where she allows this vengeance to take over. He doesn't want her kindness to go away. He doesn't want her to be angry and see everyone. The first words he ever said, I think, in the whole book were trust no one. So, he doesn't want her to be like that. He wants her to be happy and to make connections and to be kind and compassionate, not to be angry and hurt and, vengeful.
Right.
You know what? I really kind of dig that side of Nier. Like, she's like, fuck it all. Like, I'm going to be the bad bitch. I don't feel, and again, just from with what I've read, I have not read a ton where you get a character like that. And I like that. I like that she's not afraid to just throw it like on the line. She's like, it might cost me everything, and that's fine, but I'm still going to do it. Just calling your bluff. I like that.
Yeah, Nier, I mean, you gotta look at all Nier's been through too. Like, she's done. She's so done with everything. She's like, he's taken my family, he's taken my freedom. Like, all that I have is the Brotherhood, and they've trained me since I was like 10 years old to kill this guy. So all that I want to do is kill this guy. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, my life is pure hell because of him. I'm not gonna forgive that. She wants justice.
And she killed him, and he came back.
Yeah.
Motherfucker!
Point.
Wants to kill him again.
Well, I think that it's some good character dynamic between the two, right? Because at this point in time, they both kind of have something that they can offer the other, right? Avalok, through all that he's learned, can learn maybe some kindness, that there's a way back from his empty cave, so to speak. Whereas Nier can maybe take some preemptive advice and maybe not completely lose her shit,
Well, what I kind of find interesting just reading, and I haven't really thought about this, is her and Avalok have completely swapped in this conversation.
Yep.
He is being the one that's trying to be compassionate and help her and guide her, and she's the one that's angry and doesn't want to let go of the hatred she has. It's completely opposite from when they first met each other.
It's exactly like when she said that when he told her that the farmer that she helped had betrayed her, and I should never have done that. And he's like, no, because first he said, no, don't help him. But afterwards, even after he betrayed her, it's like, no, you should have still helped him. Don't lose your kindness.
Yeah. It's like they're both kind of going in opposite directions from their arcs are like, what I'm trying to say. Nier's arc is kind of going down and his arc is going up. And they're like turning into
something
each
you
other.
Planned?
I mean, I don't really plan arcs. Some characters don't have them because some people don't, grow. So I just let the characters kind of follow the path that I want. I don't really plan like arcs. But I mean, not really. I just kind of realized this as we're talking about it, that it's happening that way. So no, that wasn't actually planned. It just organically happened, which is kind of cool. That's why I say the story just kind of writes itself sometimes, and I just kind of am its vessel. I don't really plan. Like, some people by book 3, some people are upset about how like some character arcs are digressing and some character arcs are stale. But that's purposeful because like I said, some people like my characters are all like mid 20s to mid 30s. Some people are just they're not going to have an arc, like they are who they are. So some people might be immature, or they might be emotional or impulsive or whatever. And that's just how they are. You know what I mean? They're not teenagers outgrowing things. They're adults going through things. And that's just kind of, so I don't really focus too much on trying to have growth in that sort of way. Just however I think someone would naturally react and naturally grow or not grow, I guess, from their circumstances is kind of the direction I take their character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've never really thought about like age with your characters. It's just not something that's crossed my mind.
Oh, with mine, or just any character you ever read?
No, probably in a lot of books, yeah. But I mean, at least right now, thinking about your book, it hasn't crossed my mind.
I mean, I think it's already been said that Nier's 23. I think she's 23 or 24, something like that.
I'd say that's about right from what I remember.
Yeah, Nier's 24, 23. Lorik is 26. Avalok is 30, Cloud is 31. That's not their ages are never said because elves don't keep track of ages. But it is said that he doesn't look any more than 30, is what Nier says when she meets Avalok. So that's their official
Gotcha.
ages, if anyone's curious. But I think,
The ages can most likely look older than how younger than what they are.
yeah, and she has mentioned that too. She said that High Priest Banin didn't look a day over 40, but he's actually in his 70s. And she told Avalok that's not normal for humans, which kind of insinuates that elves don't really age the same way that humans do. So like he could be older, but his official age, because I didn't want him to be super old and her to be 24, because I think that's creepy as fuck. Like whenever books have characters that are 110 and then they date someone that's like 20, I'm just like, you're a creep. That's nasty. So
Like
they're all
most vampire books.
yeah. Like freaking Twilight. I know what you're talking about. He's like 108 and she's 17. That's so nasty.
I have not seen Twilight.
Well, it's nasty. Okay, it's so gross. And then there's another book that's really popular, and the dude, he's like 500, and he gets with a 17-year-old. I'm like, I don't even care if you stopped aging after you were 20. You've been alive for 500 years. Like, I don't know. It just grosses me out.
But then again, if we look at Madison, we have Whiskey Jack and what's her name? Cola. That's like 20,000, and he's like 60.
Oh my god. Jesus. Holy crap.
Don't ruin anything for us, Jan.
Ooh, spoilers.
Yeah, I had a feeling I had to tune that out.
Ooh, Jan, the picker of spoilers.
Yeah. Oh.
He's beating himself up now.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
He said they're 6 and 10 years old.
that's what post production's for.
Yeah, I'm I'm in a conversation. Okay. Hi.
Hello, welcome to our show.
Jan, what have your thoughts been going on this journey along this book? Like, what have you felt like? Have you had any similar questions or different questions or thoughts or anything like that?
One thought I had was, which I wrote in the chat, was after torturing Rorik and Mia so much, that you gave them a happy ending.
With Mange.
Yep.
Listen, that was really heavy, so I wanted to do something a little more lighthearted afterwards.
It was very lighthearted.
And we're about to get into like the end of the book, and it's very, very dark, and it's very heavy, and like it's kind of nonstop, just dark. Not so much in like the people are getting ripped apart, so I don't want to like set your expectations to be like blood and gore. It's just really heavy, and there's not a lot of like lightheartedness going on. So I wanted something to soften
Break
that.
it up. Break it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So I figured it took me forever to think of something to do that felt natural, but was also fun. Because this isn't a very fun book, so I couldn't do just anything. So I kind of thought, you know what, a freaking hippie village in the middle of the mountains, like that could be believable, right? I don't know, but it is, and it works.
I felt like it was really organic. I like the placement.
Thank you. I was hoping out in the middle of the woods would be a good place to just put a bunch of weirdos. They're just mountain people.
I feel like it suits their whatever.
Yeah, their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I also like the fact that the place is called Mange, which is supposed to be like scruffy and dirty, and they're also pretty and beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, and that's another. I honestly named it Mange because I wanted something to kind of be like Mange the Strange. You know, I kind of wanted something to play off the word so it could feel more organic and more natural to the world. Because just walking up on this random hippie village would have felt a little more out of place if no one had ever heard of it. So for them to have like songs and stories, and Nier has heard about this place, but you know, it's just like the weird place in the mountains that you don't want to go to. So that's kind of how. And then I was like, Mange, that's gross. Like that's just, I don't know. It just kind of fit, you know. It kind of fit the theme of the whole village.
And people would stay away from a place called Mange if they didn't know what was there.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
funny.
let's go to Mange. What, Mange? No.
It's funny.
HC, I'm kind of wondering, like, from what other authors I've heard, and even like a couple, like Christopher Brenning that I've talked about his experience, like writing the series. And he's told me, like, he knows, like, the last sentence in the last chapter of the last book. Do you have that? Or is that not necessarily? Like, do you know how it's going to end?
Yes. I don't have it detailed down to the last word, but the way that I write is I know the ending before I know anything because I need a goal to work towards.
Sure.
So if I don't detail everything, I just kind of take it book by book. But I knew from the beginning what the protagonist wanted, what the antagonist wanted, and I knew how their stories were going to end. Like at the very end, how it's going to end, not like the epilogue afterwards or anything, just like how the whole thing's going to go down. That is the goal that I'm working to. I have to get to the final showdown and then what happens kind of thereafter. So without that, I didn't really have any direction. So I don't know. I think it's better to kind of at least have an idea of the ending you want. And then you can, that way you have something to work toward. So yeah, I have the ending already planned out.
Gotcha. I know, like, when we talked to Steven Erickson, he said, like, he knew the title of each book, which, like, almost, like, to me that feels kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I would have that planned. Like, I've never fucking written anything, but, like, if I was writing a book series, like, I don't know if I would have that planned out. And then, like, when I talked to Christopher Brenning, he's like, "Yep, I know the last fucking word that's going to be in this book." Like, he's got, like, he just knows, like, and that makes sense. When you say you've got the goal you're working towards, I get that. It makes sense to me. But there's a lot in the middle you got to figure out.
The middle's the hardest part, honestly. Like, and it's not even just the middle where you're getting from point A to point B because you know your plot. It's the filler, which is the meat of the book. That's the hardest. That's why Curse of the Fallen really doesn't have a lot of filler because I didn't really know how to do it. And I was like, I just want to focus on the story. I don't want to have all these extra, random things that don't mean anything. But that's kind of like the heart of the story. And that's like, that makes your world feel real. So adding all that stuff and adding all these conversations and places and beliefs and all that stuff, that's the hard stuff because you have to incorporate all of it because your plot's easy, just point A, point B, but all the extra stuff is the hard stuff. So as long as you have your beginning, your middle, and your end, at least you can work towards something and it makes it easier to fill in those little gaps because you know which path you're taking, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I tried doing it without knowing how it was going to end, and it did not. That's why it took me 10 years to write my book because I didn't know what I was trying to do. Like I knew what Nier wanted, but how is it going to end up for her? Like as an author, for me, knowing how it ends helps you to structure the beginning and the middle.
Well, I just think like in your first book, like you've got the titles of all the books in this series, and I can't help but think like, what if you're going through and you're writing these and you're like that title doesn't work anymore? Like, how do you deal with that? And
I mean, you have to make sure it's going to work, like before you decide to publish your titles for everybody to see. Because I mean, people did ask me, they're like, "How do you know? What if it turns out to be 5 books or 7 books?" I'm like, "Well, I know how many books it's going to be because I know what I have planned for each book, and I know how the series is going to end." So,
and I suppose like on that end of things, it would be easy, like if you had to write an extra book. But what if if it just concluded sooner and you're like, fuck, I was going to write 6 books and now it's only going to be 5 and I've got this title printed in my book that I'm not going to write now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what's taking me so long to write. I haven't even really started on book 4 because by the time you get to book 4 in my series, that's where everything, like what happens in book 4. Did y'all see that? My dog just threw her toy. Go lay down.
Don't yell at your dog.
She's crazy. She's crazy. She wants to go outside again. What happens in book 4 is going to set like the rest of the books. Like she's crazy.
Hi, puppy.
So I have to make sure because I have 2 antagonists and I have two protagonists, and their stories kind of weave together, and I have to bring it all together so that it leads to the end by book 4. So that's what's taking me so long to write it, because I have to outline in detail 4, 5, and 6 to make sure it all stretches out and I can fit all of this into 3 books. Otherwise, it's either not going to turn out the way I wanted because I'm going to do something wrong, like a plot twist or something like that, or I'm going to make it too short because I'm not planning ahead. So it is really hard.
No pressure.
It's been hard. Like, I have it outlined, but I don't even know if it's good, and there's nobody to read it. So it's just me having to figure it out on my own, and it's very difficult.
Well, I'm sure if Justin and I were at that point, we would read it, but we're not there. So
hurry up and finish my other 2 books.
Write the books. Yeah. No pressure.
Oh Lord, the pressure.
You're also like you're making a book out of your short story from the Advent Winter thing, right?
Mm-hmm. And then I have another one on the side that I'm working on too. So I have a lot, because a lot of people have asked me for a romance version of my books, and I started writing one. It actually won a contest because it's so good. So
nice.
Yeah, so it's like a romantasy type, that stupid thing. It's fun to write, but I'm just kind of working on. I haven't really written anything in a while though, because ever since I lost my job and I kind of took a step back, I haven't really been able to get into the headspace to get back into it yet. Mostly because I have to do all this outlining, because I don't want to start writing it and realize that's not the direction it needs to go and have to rewrite it all.
Well, you could do a series of softcore porn books.
Oh yeah, that's what they are. The get rich quick scheme nowadays.
Based around the village of Mange.
Ooh, like a little side story, X-rated. You know what? That's actually not a bad idea.
You could have a story as Cindy the Tramp of Mange or something.
Oh my God.
No, then there are no trans Mange because it's all accepted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Derek. I'm about to call him Justin.
Look at me being so judgmental.
Uh-huh. All these hobbits are going to come get you.
Whatever.
He wishes.
Is it their feet, Derek?
No.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
He just dreams of furry feet.
Oh, that's all they do. You're going to find him on Feet Finder with all those big, hairy hobbit feet.
Oh, man, God.
We're getting delirious.
Okay, I think it might be time to close her out. Gross.
Oh, this was fun. Jan, I like hanging out with you. I like having you on. This is a good time.
I was really excited you two got to meet and chat and hang out. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. What is it, about 3:30 in the morning there? A little after 3:30, Jan?
3:38.
Yeah. You gonna get up in a couple hours and go for a run and
that's fine. It's been fun. I'm gonna drive up to the cabin tomorrow.
Ooh,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, excited to see how much snow there is. If it's 1 meter or 3 meters.
Take some pictures for us. I would like to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Will do.
Send it to our little group.
And next time I get to my cabin, I'll take some pictures and show that to you also.
By the way, how's the hockey game going?
Last time I saw, we were down 3-1.
Oh, he stopped watching. He got mad.
I got mad. Oh, it's 3-2 after 2. So,
ooh.
And then the other game that I need to go my way, I need St. Thomas to beat Bemidji. St. Thomas is down 4-3 going into the third period. We're down 3-2 going into the third period. So, a couple good games.
Some close ones for sure.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm gonna go pass out. I'm like fucking wiped.
You look like.
Yeah, I'm.
But Jan is over here 4:00 in the morning, killing it.
He's a trooper.
I'm a B person. This is not unnormal for me.
You're a night owl.
Yeah. I'm afraid my daughter has taken after me.
Oh no.
It says like suddenly she'll send me a message like 2 in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm like,
oh Lord.
No, don't become like me.
Yeah, my husband's that way. Like, he's a night owl, and he cannot sleep at night. He sleeps during the day. Like, he sleeps his best when the sun is up. It's so annoying.
In the weekdays, I normally fall asleep about 2, 3, or 4 in the morning. So
okay.
Saturdays, I normally sleep until like 12 or 2 o'clock just to catch up.
Yeah.
I'll adapt to whatever I got to do, but I'm even on the weekends. I'm usually up by probably at the latest, probably 7 in the morning, if not earlier. So
Oh, up by then? Like you're waking up?
yeah,
Oh
You're
yeah.
inhuman.
Screw that.
I
Okay.
can't.
No
You know,
way.
like it's wild. Like like when me and my wife were dating, we might not go out to the bar till 10 o'clock at night, and now it's like if
No, you're
it's
in bed by
six
10 o'clock.
o'clock, if it's 6 o'clock, I don't want to go out. It's too late. Like fuck it, we're gonna watch whatever TV show we're watching and
Getting
just
old's fun, huh?
yeah. Yeah, it is fun. Yeah, Jan, it was a lot of fun having you. And it was good to talk to you again. HC, it's always a pleasure. Justin, always a pleasure. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do next because we are closing on the end of a sub book in Malazan. So I don't know. Maybe we do. I don't know. Do you want to try to do an episode next week on Malazan before our live stream?
I would say so. I would say, I mean, it's a shorter one. I think there's only 4 sections in it, so we should be able to rock it
Yeah.
out.
Okay. And then I'll have to reach out to Maura and Lee because I think they were our sub book wrap up people. So
Yeah.
Hell
How
yeah.
are they doing? They haven't published anything for a while now. I haven't seen them put anything out on Twitter.
I'm not sure. I messaged them not too long ago and didn't really get a response. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they stopped releasing episodes quite a few weeks ago.
Huh.
Because they were doing a read through of Fall of Light, which I was following, and around Christmas time they released an episode where they did a quiz episode where they had like some guests on and they did a quiz episodes. They haven't released anything since then, and they haven't put anything on Twitter since Christmas, I think.
I think they had a Cradle episode. I think that was the last thing that they did. Maybe Lee's back in class. I'm not sure, but I'll have to reach out to him, see what's going on, and maybe we can make something work. Because yeah, it's been a long time since we've talked to them, and I definitely miss talking to them. They're a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
but yeah,
Cool.
Well, guys, it's great talking to everybody, and yeah, I had a lot of fun here.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Liked
nice
it.
to see
I
you.
think he's the new official Avalock.
Yes, for sure. You've been replaced, Eric.
All right, I think I'm a pretty good Lorik, if I
You
might
are a
say
good Lorik.
so myself.
Avalock.
I think I'm a good
I
Lorik.
don't want to have no comment on Avalock. Okay.
That's fine.
Jan's Avalock scares me, and I feel like normal Avalock would scare me, so it's perfect.
Well, Avalok is scary.
He is. It's a perfect. You did perfect. No. Ooh. All right, guys. Well, I'm ready to go eat dinner because I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up my kid from the high school dance. So,
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, I gotta sleep.
Thank you, guys.
Jan, hey, have a safe trip to the cabin, Jan.
Yeah.
Bye, HC.
See y'all later.
Bye.
See you, Justin. Bye.
Bye.
CNJ's Epic Quest, CNJ's Epic Quest, CNJ's Epic Quest, CNJ's Epic Quest, CNJ's Epic Quest.